part 2 of the chapter on diversity, multiculturalism, and cultural intelligence. This is part 2. I'm Professor Jessica, and here we are looking at the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC, here in the United States. This is for our Human Relations course. So, like we looked at in part 1 of this chapter, there's a lot of business reasons why companies and organizations would want to increase diversity. We saw that race diversity and gender diversity, both on boards and as well as within organizations, increases profits in the double digits. So of course that's a positive, for the organizations. And we also want to make sure that people are not discriminated against just because of who they are. I mean, that's pretty basic. And so already in the 1940s here in the United States, there was a movement that started to prohibit this type of discrimination at work. And Franklin D. Roosevelt was the first president to sign into law an executive order that prohibited government contracts from engaging in employment discrimination based on race, color, or national origin, meaning that we cannot discriminate in, employment and work decisions based on somebody's race, the color of their skin, or where they come from, right, their national origin. And then we had in 1964 the Title VII of the Civil Rights Act that created the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And that act was put into place to make sure that employees had a place where they could go if they were discriminated against, so they could file a complaint with the EEOC. So today we have the EEOC, which is our federal agency that is charged with the task of enforcing federal employment discrimination laws. So there's a number of different laws that fall in the EEOC umbrella or under the EEOC umbrella for employment decisions. So these laws, pardon me, are intended to protect people based on a number of different characteristics, and they include race, color, religion, sex, our biological sex. Sometimes we refer to that as gender, which is the social construct, national origin, age, as well as disability, mental and physical, as well as a couple of other ones that we'll cover. So people who have filed a discrimination charge are also protected against discrimination under the EEOC. And this covers employers with at least 15 employees, although that is 20 for the age discrimination. So if there are more than 15 employees for an organization, these federal laws would apply, apart from the age discrimination, which is 20 employees or more. And as I alluded to on the prior slide, this agency covers not just discrimination in hiring, right? But it's all types of employment decisions. So that includes firings, promotions, right? Who you fire, who you promote, harassment, and that tends to be based on sex or gender. Training, who has opportunity for training, and then compensation, who do you compensate? So any type of employment decision. The EEOC has the authority to investigate charges of discrimination against employers. So the agency investigates the claims, they make a finding, and then tries to settle the charge. However, if they are unsuccessful in settling this charge, they do have the right to file a lawsuit on behalf of the complainants. And they can also say that they are not doing that, and then they sort of can grant that right to the complainants themselves if they want to file a lawsuit. And keeping in mind, many lawsuits in the United States are not successful. Just because we file a lawsuit doesn't mean we will get right, quote unquote, in the court of law. If the company has more than 100 employees, they have to fill out what is called the EEO-1, which tracks demographic information based on different job categories. And this is done to make sure that there is no discrimination, systematic discrimination within the organization. So they are looking at the different demographics within the organizations based on gender, ethnicity, or sex, ethnicity, etc. And then that is compared to sort of the outside labor market to look for discrepancies within the organization vis-a-vis the labor market. An organization that employs more than 50 people and works for the federal government must also file this EEO1 form, and this is done every year. And organizations must post the EEOC notice somewhere visible within their organization. And so these are some of the requirements from the EEOC. So the laws that the EEOC covers include age, disability, equal pay, genetic information, national origin, pregnancy, race, color, religion, gender, sexual harassment, and military service. And it also includes retaliation. And all of these things we will discuss in the next recording, which will be part 3. So with that, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Be safe.